Talking about travel websites, it's 8.1 at H. Okay, this is a short version video whereby I don't actually go through typing out. So, because is weil, the main train station is der Hauptbahnhof. Now, is lies or lies is liegt. That's going to go to the end of the sentence. Only 5 minutes, nur 5 Minuten, and away or distance is entfernt. So remember, this here, the liegt, is going to go beyond that. So we end up down here, war der Hauptbahnhof nur 5 Minuten entfernt liegt. We then have to have verb backing on verb. So it is becomes ist es. So liegt, ist es, also good, auch gut. Now, if you want to take or make a trip to discover the surroundings, wenn man einen Ausflug machen will. So if one wants to do a trip, okay, so we got here wenn man, the will's gone to the end over here, okay, the end of the clause. In order to discover the surroundings, and zu, in order to discover, zu entdecken, okay, the surroundings would go between the and the zu. So die Umgebung zu entdecken. Okay, unfortunately, leider. So, my wife and I almost never slept. So, literally, so we're going to use the imperfect here. So, leider have meine Frau und ich. Then the geschlafen is over here, the past participle, just in front of the comma, so the end of this clause here. Almost never is fast nie, which would go between meine Frau und ich and then geschlafen. Because, weil, the traffic noise is der Verkehrslärm. So the traffic noise made, okay, using the imperfect here, okay, weil der Verkehrslärm machte, this is dies, and impossible is unmöglich. Weil der Verkehrslärm dies unmöglich machte. Because traffic noise made this impossible. Okay, this one here. Because the hotel is located opposite the Colosseum. So it finds itself, okay, the hotel opposite from the Colosseum is the literal translation of it. So literally, because itself, weil sich das Hotel gegenüber opposite vom Colosseum befindet, opposite of the Colosseum finds itself, is situated, war es, it was, literally was it, sehr leicht, very easy, okay, to visit the famous sites in Rome. So the German for to visit, zu besichtigen, in terms of sightseeing, will go at the end over here of this particular clause. So you're literally going to say the famous sites, die berühmten Sehenswürdigkeiten, the famous things worth seeing in Rome, zu besichtigen. Okay, this one here. Although we stayed at the hotel in the autumn. So, obwohl wir, although we, now stayed, will be wir haben übernachtet. Übernachtet, okay, when you're forming the past participle of übernachten, you do not add on a GE at the front. It's not separable either, and this is how it stays for being a past participle. So, obwohl wir haben übernachtet is the, if you've got nothing else there, although we stayed, you then put the haben beyond the übernachtet. So I should have rephrased that and said, without the obwohl, it would have been wir haben übernachtet. You put the obwohl in then, it then becomes obwohl wir übernachtet haben. We then need all the other words in between. So time, manner, place, in the autumn, so there's a time phrase, im Herbst, and the place, im Hotel. So obwohl wir im Herbst im Hotel übernachtet haben, although we stayed at the hotel in the autumn. The weather was, so inversion, verb, backing on verb, because we've got a weil situation. So, war das Wetter, the weather was, noch warm, still warm, and we were able to, we could, wir konnten, so the modal verb in the imperfect, wir konnten sitzen, so sitzen, second verb going to the end of the sentence, in the evening, time word, abends, on the balcony, auf dem Balkon, okay, the place. So have a good look at that one. Number 5. The hotel was, das Hotel war, Very difficult, very hard to find. Sehr schwer zu finden. Even, sogar. For our taxi driver. Für unseren Taxifahrer. Der, who, relative clause, referring back to the fact that Taxifahrer is masculine. So that's going to send all the verbs to the end. Okay, der, who, several times, mehrmals, for directions, literally after the way, nach dem Weg, so mehrmals nach dem Weg, fragen musste, who had to ask for directions several times. So fragen, to ask. Nummer 6. Das Personal hat, so the staff, das Personal hat is the staff. Auch, also, versucht, tried. So the staff also tried, turn it into the imperfect structure here. Okay, versuchen, don't add on G at the front, remember, past participle, just cross off the E and replace it with a T. So this versuchen, okay, we have it often with a zu structure with verb coming after it in the follow-up bit here. Okay, I tried to play, I tried to cook the meal. We tried to sail around the world. Okay, okay, so we got here. So tried, zu machen, to make, unseren Aufenthalt, our stay, perfect, perfect. Okay, dazu. Das war unser erstes Mal in Madrid. That was our first time in Madrid. Unser erstes, so das Mal, so you add on es here. Aber es war eine Katastrophe. It was a catastrophe. Als, so als wir endlich angekommen waren, when we had arrived finally, so angekommen takes sein, that's why it's waren, not hatten. That first verb at the end of the clause, verb backing onto verb, so war, die Rezeptionistin, the receptionist was etwas unhöflich, somewhat impolite. So, next one. Es hat lange gedauert. It has long lasted. It lasted a long time. It took a long time. Before we, okay, verb at the end, or verbs at the end, I should say. Before wir konnten, before we could, auf unser Zimmer gehen. Before we could go to our room, or up to our room. Am schlimmsten, worst of all, war, aber, was, however, das Zimmer. Okay, the room, however, was the worst of all. Klein, small, schmutzig, dirty. Und es roch, it smelt nach Zigaretten. It smelled after cigarettes or from cigarettes. Mitten in der Stadt, in the middle of town or in the town. Ist das Hotel, is the hotel perfect? So the hotel is perfect in the middle of the town. For, now this sowohl als structure. For both sightseeing and shopping. Sowohl sightseeing als auch shopping. So both and. Sowohl ... als auch ... Weil der Hauptbahnhof, because the main station nur 5 Minuten entfernt liegt, because the main station lies only 5 minutes away, okay, so liegt at the end of the file, end of the clause, ist es, verb, backing on verb, it is auch good, also good. Wenn man, if one, so you got this wenn, weil, suddenly losing my voice, wenn man einen Ausflug machen will, if one wants to do a trip, wenn man einen Ausflug machen will. Now, zu, in order to, entdecken, discover, in order to discover the surroundings, die Umgebung zu entdecken. I've made too many sentences here, haven't I? Unser Zimmer war, our room was, sehr preiswert, very reasonable, price worth. Und wir hatten, we had, ein geräumiges, a roomy, spacious, sehr schön, very beautiful, ausgestattetes Doppelzimmer, furnished double room or equipped room. Wir haben uns auch gefreut. We also were pleased, dass, war situation, unser Zimmer, our room, einen Balkon hatte, had a balkon. Or balcony even. Das Frühstücksbuffet, breakfast buffet, have we literally jeden Morgen richtig genossen. We really enjoyed it every morning. Genossen, past participle of genießen, to enjoy. Da, since, or as, same as weil, situation. Die Auswahl, the choice, enorm war, since the choice was enorm, or enormous even. Right, before wir das Haus verließen, before we left the house. Verließen, past participle of verlassen, to leave. Okay, suchte mein Vater, my dad looked for, now suchte comes from suchen, to look for, seine Straßenkarte, his street map. Schließlich, finally, fand sie, he found it. Sie is it here because Straßenkarte is feminine. Aber, but, weil es, because it, now weil es gab, it's gab here at the end of the clause, because there was, weil es gab, and the middle bits here, ein Problem, a problem mit meinem Sicherheitsgurt im Auto, a problem with my safety belt in the car. Fuhren wir, blah blah blah, ab, we drove off, erst eine Stunde später, an hour later. I wouldn't translate the erst here, it literally means only, but it gives the impression that that was not a bad thing. When it was a bad thing, if that makes sense. They were late, in other words. Right, number 18. Unterwegs, on the way, zum Hafen, to the harbour, port. Hatten wir, we had, inversion. Then, auf der Autobahn, on the motorway, eine Panne, a breakdown. Okay, ladies and gents, this video is slightly different in its approach. And here we have ideas of what to do with this and methodology explained here. Dankeschön und tschüss.